Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back or welcome to the channel. This is Cycle here coming at you with another video. I've been trying to post more content lately because I've noticed that since I have been posting more content, I've been getting more subs and more views. So let's keep it going. It's not going to be pickups or gameplay. The gameplay video is kind of crappy. I didn't mention that last time. The screen was too bright, so I'm going to have to figure out how to make it so that you can see the screen a little easier next time. I guess maybe the settings in the computer or whatever. Today we are going to go through another collection. I believe I did a Switch collection video, and I believe I did a boxed NES game video. Excuse me, I think I even had some Super Nintendo games in there, maybe the ones I had at the time. But today we're going to focus solely on Super Nintendo and just my box Super Nintendo games. I don't even have as many loose cartridges as I do box games. It's not going to be a super long video, but like I said, I wanted to keep the content rolling and show you some of the cool stuff that I have for the Super Nintendo, which is my second favorite console of all time, second only to the regular NES. I don't know, maybe they're tied for first. I don't know. I love them both. And before we get started, I would like to encourage you to hit the subscribe button because it does help me out a lot. And with that being said, I want to thank all of the new subs who have been subscribing and watching the videos, and the channel has been doing pretty well. I mean, nothing crazy, but crazy for me because it's never done as good as it has been lately. Hit the bell notification if you like the content so you know when I am posting more stuff. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know. I don't know, I try to give suggestions every time, but everybody just says whatever the heck they want anyway. So leave a comment about whatever you want to say. It's fine by me. And like I said, we are going through my boxed Super Nintendo collection. Some of them are complete, some of them are not. I don't remember what's what. The ones I do remember, I will let you know. So getting started, we're going to do an honorable mention because I don't have the cartridge, but I do have the box and manual, and it is for the game Rock and Roll Racing. I've seen this cartridge a few times in the Gaming Waffles, and I did not win. I tried to win it, but I did not. But yeah, I've never played this, so one day I hope to be able to fill this box and actually play this game because I hear it's actually quite good. Okay, so starting with the complete in-box games, there are some sports titles because they were in a lot that I got a few years back from a lady that sold me a Super Nintendo and a bunch of games complete in box, and also the Super Nintendo's complete in box. And they had been stored away, she said, for a long time, so these games were in fantastic shape. But the first one is a game that I've never played, and I don't know if I ever will. It is Jack Nicklaus Golf, and it is in good shape. Like I said, these people said that their son went away to college or whatever it was, and that he left his games there, and they were selling them. So I bought them. The next one is a very nice copy, complete copy of NBA Jam. What an absolute classic this game is. I was playing this recently. If I'm being totally honest, I did play some NBA Jam. The next one is nothing crazy, but nice to have in the collection anyway, and it's a nice copy. NCAA basketball. I like the artwork on the front, not gonna lie. I'm digging the artwork. Next is a complete in-box copy of Cal Ripken Jr. Baseball. I tried this, and it was, I don't know. It was not good. Sorry. What's next? This one, which when I looked up the price, I was actually kind of surprised. And this is complete, and there's a lot of stuff in here. But it is a copy of Tecmo Super Bowl for the Super Nintendo. I'm not going to say for the Super Nintendo every time, or maybe I am, I don't know. I have a hard time not saying what system the game is for because I usually have games for a lot of different systems. Up next, here's a game I bought at the Trade Post. I believe this is complete in box. There's a little bit of damage on the box, but whatever. It is a copy of NHL 95. I don't believe I've ever played this one. I played NHL 94, which is, if you know, you know, it's quite good. Up next is this I got from a pawn shop. I think I paid a few dollars more than what it's actually worth, but whatever. I grabbed some other stuff from the guy too that he gave me a good deal on, so I didn't mind. It is a copy of Super Play Action Football, and I also like the artwork on this. Oh, and fun fact about all of these games, if you have been following the channel for a while, or since the beginning or whatever, every single game that I'm showing you has been on this channel. Because I pretty much started this channel when I started my collecting up again. This is the second collection I've had. The first one I sold off, which, God, I wish I hadn't. But, you know, hindsight's 2020. Up next, this game doesn't have the manual, it's just the box and cartridge, but it is a very fun game, and I was glad to find it with the box. It is a copy of Saturday Night Slam Masters. This is a cool game, and Mike Hagar's in it. If you don't know who that is, that's one of the characters you can play as in Final Fight. And Final Fight is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Copy of Tetris and Dr. Mario that still has... I mean, it's open, it's not sealed, as you can see. But nobody ever actually took the plastic off, so I'm not going to either. But there it is. Tetris and Dr. Mario. I've played both of these games individually, but I don't think I've ever actually played this cartridge. So, maybe one day. Up next is, I believe this is a complete in-box copy. Yes, it is. Of Soldiers of Fortune. I only put this in to test it, so I don't know if it's good or not. It kind of reminded me a little bit, for whatever reason, of Smash TV. If you guys know more than I do about this title, let me know. Should I play it? Should I not? But either way, it's in the collection. Another one that I have played a couple of times, and even back in the day when it was new, when I was a kid, but I couldn't get into it enough to stick with it, but it wasn't terrible. It is a copy of Illusion of Gaia, and this is complete. It has everything in there. Let me know, guys. Should I have stuck with this game? Was it worth trying to play through the whole thing? Up next is also a game that I have never played. Not really too crazy interested in playing it. Now, the thing that's missing out of this is the cardboard tray, which, whatever, you can find those pretty easily. But it's a copy of Wario's Woods, which I think Wario's Woods, for the NES version anyway, was the very last NES game released, which is a little fun fact. Up next is a pretty clean copy. I mean, there's some wear on it, but, I mean, these games are 30 years old. You know what I mean? But it is a copy of Super Bomberman 2. I've only played the original Bomberman for the NES because I actually have it complete in box also. And just recently, honestly. So I have not played this one. Maybe I will give it a try, but I feel like maybe I should try to play Super Bomberman 1 first. I don't know. Do I have to play Super Bomberman 1 to know what's going on in this, or not? Let me know in the comments. Up next, this one's relatively cheap, but it's one you don't see around. I got this at the trade post a while back, and it's in pretty decent shape. It is a copy of Harley's Humongous Adventure. This game wasn't bad. It started to get hard, so I got a little frustrated because there were some jumps I couldn't make, so I turned it off. But I feel like this is one that I would go back to. It's pretty cool. I don't hate it. Harley's Humongous Adventure. Next, I believe this is complete. I don't remember. Oh, this is the side that's open. Yes, the manual is in there. It is a Super Game Boy. What does that say? Not for resale? Yes, this was the one that came with Super Nintendo, I believe. But there's the back of it. Fun fact, I have no Game Boy games, so I can't play this. Maybe I should start getting some. I actually have some coming in the mail. At least one that will work on that. And next time I do a pickups video, I'll explain all about that. But something crazy happened today that I was not expecting, and that will be on the next pickups video when I tell that story. Up next, one of my favorite games for the Super Nintendo, and it is complete. It is a copy of Mortal Kombat 2. When this game came out, I forget the year. I want to say maybe 1993. I was 13 years old, and who didn't want this game? So I convinced my parents to buy it. I think it was going for $80 brand new. So I don't remember if I had saved up. I'll show you the back while I explain. I don't remember if I had saved it up or whatever had happened, but my parents bought it for me. And I just remember me and my friend Chris got it on the same day, pretty much when it came out. Right after school, we went and got that. And when we weren't playing Mortal Kombat 2, we would be on the phone for hours talking about what we had seen and what, the fatalities and everything, because they always cram those games full of secrets. So I remember, for example, I don't remember exactly what it was. I'm wanting to say maybe, was there such a thing as Mortal Kombat Armageddon? Um, it was an N64 game, so maybe Trilogy. I remember playing that game and finding Rain, and I told my friend, same guy, Chris, about it, and he's like, "There's no such character," and I was like, "Dude, I'm telling you." Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Rain, it was Chameleon. And when I discovered Chameleon, I was like, "Look, dude, this guy changes colors. His name is Chameleon with a K, and he has all the powers of all the ninjas." And he's like, "That's not a thing." And I'm like, "I'm telling you, I played the game, I fought him, and he kicked my butt." But yeah, just stuff like that. I got a little off track, but just stuff like that in Mortal Kombat. You could talk about it forever because you were always discovering new stuff. But yeah, definitely one of my favorites. I put a ton of time into Mortal Kombat 2 on the SNES. And they actually got it right. The first one was not good. People prefer the gameplay of the first one over the Genesis version, but if you were looking for the blood and the gore and the real fatalities, you had to have the Genesis version. Um, Up next is, I have two copies of this actually. It is Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and this is the limited run version. Funny story with this is when the limited run version went up for pre-order, and these are both complete, I went ahead and bought it, and it's the cartridge version. If you've seen I did an unboxing of this, so you can see the green cartridge version of this from limited run if you go back a few videos. But the funny story, and I think I even tell it in that video, was that I ordered this because I was like, man, I mean, realistically, when am I ever going to find a complete in-box copy of Zombies Ate My Neighbors? And then like 2 weeks after I ordered it from limited run, sure enough, I found a complete in-box copy of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. And yeah, so I just have two of them, I guess. And I did play the limited run cartridge also, and it's it's a game. It's Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Up next is a complete in-box copy of Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage. I so wanted this game to be good, and I'm not saying it's bad. I don't hate it, but it's pretty hard. And I like side-scrolling beat-em-ups. But there's the back. I think the cartridge is pretty dope. The fact that it's on the red cartridge. And this one is complete. This was a Carlos buy, so I'm glad to have found it. Happy to have that in the collection. Up next, this one is, it was really, really pricey. It's since went down, and I think maybe up again a little, but not to where it used to be. But it is my complete in-box copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. This is one that I'm super happy to have in the collection. This may be my favorite Ninja Turtles game ever. I mean, if you know, you know. Side-scrolling beat 'em up, fun gameplay. If you haven't played Turtles in Time, I suggest picking up a copy or maybe emulating or something, because I think even the cartridge is like $50 now. But happy to have that in the collection. And then the next three games are the trilogy, because you have to have at least one in your collection. I'm not even saying complete in box, but you have to have at least one of these games loose in your collection. And most people probably have this one. And it is so fantastic. I love this franchise. It is Donkey Kong Country. You guys, anyone that grew up with the Super Nintendo has played Donkey Kong Country, and they're like 100% agree. I have never heard anyone tell me that they did not like Donkey Kong Country. So if you were one of those people, if you found something in Donkey Kong Country that you didn't like, let me know. You could say it's overrated, and you might be a little true. But I don't know. I don't think it could be better. Like, I don't know what they could do in Donkey Kong Country that would make the game better than it is already. So if you think it's overrated, that's fine. But I like it. And then keeping with that one, Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest. Fun fact, I have only played Donkey Kong Country 1. I have all three of them CIB, but I have never played any of the other ones. And then there it is. There's Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. So I'm sure that 2 and 3 are good. Let me know in the comments if they are. I'm pretty sure I'll be hearing that they are, and you will tell me your favorites, and that's fine too. But I feel like if I was going to go through this trilogy, I would play it from 1 to 3. Maybe I'll even throw one of these on today. I don't know. It'd be pretty cool. But if I do, it's going to be the first one. Oh, man. Up next is a complete in-box copy of Super Mario Kart. This was another one of the games that I got with the sports titles in the box, Super Nintendo, that the lady had sold me. I had this in the first collection. Never thought I'd find it again. I don't know why I always think I'll never find these games again, because I guess because there are some that I probably won't ever find again. Like, I had Die Hard complete in box on the NES in my first collection, and I mean, I'm sure I could find it again, but not for what I paid for it back then. So, who knows? I never thought I'd have a sealed Rockin' Cats either. So you never know. That's the fun of this, guys. It really is. Super Mario Kart. Fantastic, fantastic game that looks very dated, but is still a heck of a lot of fun. Up next, here is a game that I picked up from the Trade Post for pretty cheap. The box has a little indentation. I haven't even been mentioning whether or not I have been saying complete in box for most of these, and I believe that, yes, all the ones that I mentioned are. So I said I was going to say which ones weren't, but I thought I was missing out, or missing some of them, but I didn't. This one I don't remember. It is complete. It is, and you know what? This game is kind of fun, but it was a little hard, but I didn't put a whole lot of time into it. It is a copy of Mickey Mania. Look at that Sony logo on a Nintendo game. How about that? But there's the back. The game looks great, just like a cartoon, and it was fun, like I said, but it was difficult. Here's another one that you don't see. I don't really see this one even loose, so to find it complete in box, I thought that was pretty cool. And it's all in here, and the manual is ridiculous. The box has some... It's pretty messed up, but I don't mind having this CIB. It is a copy of Civilization. I never played this. If I played it, it probably wouldn't be with the mouse. I don't know if you can play it without the mouse. So if you guys know that, I'm pretty sure they would have to use some kind of controller interface, because not everybody had the mouse. But is this even worth playing, guys? I mean, I know what kind of game it is, but I feel like if I'm going to play something like this, I'll just play SimCity. But I feel like this is much more deeper as far as the gameplay, you know, with the people and the wars and all that other kind of stuff, I'm guessing, is involved. Let me know what you think. Is Sid Meier's Civilization worth playing on the Super Nintendo? Up next, this is complete except for the soundtrack. Another one I was stoked to have in the collection. I went back to it, and it doesn't really hold up as much as the N64 version, in my opinion, or even the Xbox one that they came out with. But here's the one that started the whole craze with this franchise. It is a complete, minus the soundtrack, copy of Killer Instinct. I'm stoked to have this. I mean, it's a must-have. Is that Spinal? Yeah, there's Spinal on there. Full gore. I mean, guys, Killer Instinct. As you can tell, I was a fighting game fan. Although I do not have Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 2 Turbo or Super Street Fighter 2 for not even loose. Maybe one day. Up next, here's another Carlos one. I think this game is at about 200 right now. But it is a complete inbox copy of Battletoads and Battle Maniacs. It is another fun side-scrolling beat-em-up, but it does get quite difficult, much like the first one, which I also have CIB up on the shelf over there. I've never played the Battletoads Double Dragon games, but I have played this and the original one for the NES. I think there was another Super Nintendo one. No, I think there were just the two. So I got to get the Double Dragon one for the NES and the Super Nintendo. Yeah, good luck with the NES version. Up next is Contra 3, The Alien Wars. What a fun game. Love the graphics. Love the gameplay. I mean, it's hard, yes, but it is so fun. I think I have all the Contra games that were released on the NES and the Super Nintendo. I believe this is the only Contra game on the Super Nintendo. But yeah, Contra Force is by far the hardest to get, but I have that one complete in box, so that's dope. And we have 3 more games. here is another one. I recently played through this one, and I use a Game Genie just because I wanted to play through all of them, because I wanted to reminisce, not so much like challenge myself. But I played through everything but the Lost Levels and completed it. A copy of Super Mario All-Stars. This was also with that Super Nintendo and the sports games lot. The lady was charging $10 per box game. The only thing she had posted was the Super Nintendo, and when I asked if she had games, I was assuming since maybe the Super Nintendo was boxed, maybe the games were too, and bingo, they absolutely were. And she said if I wanted to add games to it, the games would be $10. So I picked out NBA Jam, the Super Mario All-Stars, and the Super Mario Kart. And for whatever reason, they brought the other sports titles that I showed earlier, and well, you don't want the sports game, these other titles? And I was like, no, I mean, not really. I mean, I only had a set amount I could spend, so I have to pass on them. And the guy tells his wife, like, just give them to him because we're going to just throw them in the garbage. And I was like, well, if you're just going to throw them away. So I ended up getting those other sports games for free. But I went through this with the Game Genie, and in Super Mario 3, I used the code where you always had the Hammer Brothers suit, and you can literally kill everything with the Hammer Brothers suit. So it was a fun time. I played through Mario 1 and Mario 2. If you have a Super Nintendo and you don't have this game, I suggest going out and buying at least a loose copy. Mario All-Stars is a heck of a lot of fun. And then this, I think, is one of my favorite games of all time. Not one of my favorite games. I always tell people this is my favorite game of all time, and I think it might be, but that could change depending on, the time and the place and the circumstance. But this, and I'm missing the manual for this. I need it, and one day I will find it. It's not hard to find. I just haven't been able to. But it's a copy of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I love this game. I really do. And I have Tears of the Kingdom, and I have not yet played it because I never finished Breath of the Wild, so I'm playing through Breath of the Wild now. And I will get to Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild is great. I'm sure Tears of the Kingdom is amazing. But I can go back and play this all the time. I love A Link to the Past. And A Link Between Worlds for the 3DS is so good, too. Might be my favorite video game of all time, guys. If you've never played this game, either pick up a copy or, like I said, emulate it or something. But yeah, you have to play that. And my last box game I'm also missing the manual for, and I don't know that I will ever find it because it is hard to find, and I think it's over $300 now. But it is my box and cart version of Mega Man X3. This is the coup de grace in the Super Nintendo collection, guys. I got this on all trade-ins when they had this at the store. I just brought a ton of stuff. And I think the only thing that I had to pay out of pocket was like $28, and it was just some tax that was left on the purchase. But yeah, the actual game itself, I covered everything with all trade-ins. And I also did that with the Contra Force 2. So yes, I have a box and cart copy of Mega Man X3. I have X loose. I need X2, which I do know somebody that has it, and maybe if I ever have money again, I might be able to pick that up. But yeah, Mega Man X3. Stoked to have almost all of these games in the collection. Well, no, all of them, of course. Why wouldn't I be? Anyway, that's it, guys. That's my boxed / complete in box Super Nintendo collection. Thank you for hanging out if you are still here. Again, like I said, I made this video because I want to keep the content coming, and I'm going to have to come up with something else for a couple days from now. But if you like the content, hit the subscribe button, show a little love, thumbs up the video, leave a comment, let me know what kind of cool Super Nintendo games you have or whatever you want to talk about. Don't let me tell you what to do. And also hit the bell notification so you know when I am posting new stuff. And guys, I think pretty soon I'm gonna get rid of the beard. I think so. Tell me what you think about that. Should I get rid of it or should I keep it going? Anyway, guys, thanks for the support. Awesome that we're at 107 subs. My voice is cracking. I'm so excited. Let's keep it rolling. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching and for the support. Psycho out.